Yes. Officially, Albert J. Roberts grew up with the name Jackson, family thing, and shortened by the A-1 groups to JAX, J-A-X. So J-A-X Roberts, R-O-B-E-R-T-S.
Very good. Can you tell me what was your rank? How did you get into A1s, and where did you serve?
Well, when I was going through pilot training, my dad, who had passed away, was an airline pilot. So that was always in the back of my mind. He had a pretty good lifestyle. He had about 3 or 4 too many children, but so I kind of had that on my mind. Now, he offered all the boys flying lessons, and everyone took them except me. So all my 3 brothers had flying lessons. I didn't. I ended up being the pilot at the beginning. So when I graduated from pilot training, and I may be known as kind of a don't give a shit kind of guy, because when I went to graduate from pilot training, I had no idea where my class standing was. So I put down a C-141. I figured that'd be a good lead to an airline flight. And just like weeks before or days before that was finalized, my instructor said, you know, my first assignment was A-1, just the smallest, lightest, slowest airplane in the Air Force inventory. And it was the best flying I ever did, because right away I went out and I was on my own, and I had to master things, figure things out on my own. And you go and you sit in the right seat of a C-141 for 2 years. It's not the same. So I quickly ran back and changed everything. And when I was awarded the A-1, I was like a 23-year-old second lieutenant. And like most of the guys here have probably heard, my reaction was an A what? And it just was not, you know, young fighter pilots want to go fast, F-105s, F-100. But I'm so glad that it turned out the way it did.
Now, when we were chatting yesterday, you told me something about yourself that was a little contrary to other pilots that I've talked to. You actually were anti-war, but you said, I never said no to my responsibility. Could you kind of open up on that a little bit?
Well, it wasn't so much that I was anti-war as the war didn't make any sense. We weren't using all our assets everywhere, and it was just being done without bothering me at all. And I did not. We were really making a difference. So I don't know if you're familiar with the Designer book, Catch 21. It's a World War II book about a guy. His name was Captain Yossarian. And Captain Yossarian had been shot down several times and made it back. His philosophy was no fly, no die. And so I sort of adopted that philosophy. 81, but 81's didn't ever affected what happened to me. I'm reminded there was a guy, John Weinig, who was kind of just the opposite. He would, if we were sitting on alert and nothing happened by 3 o'clock, he had some secret phone numbers he would call. And in about 10 minutes, we'd get a radio call from the fact, hey, I have troops in the field. We need A-1s. So they'd scramble us, and we'd go out and get to fly for a couple hours in the afternoon. But if it would have been me, the nap would have continued. But
so, now, were you a wingman of Don Engelbrechtson?
Yes, in he's explained to you the unique unit we had where it was like out of 13 officers at one time there was 9 lieutenants, and a couple of those guys promoted up. But it's kind of unheard of that. We had a duty roster one day where the supervisor of flying, the safety officer, the 3 flights, every single person on the duty roster was a lieutenant. So, because of that, we all learned quickly that we were all put into leadership positions, flight lead positions. And, one day it turned out you're the flight lead for Don, and the next day Don's flight lead for you. And after each person had been there for about a month or so, due to our uniqueness with unit, they were pretty much ready to do anything.
Is there a mission that stands out in your mind? What was your favorite thing about the A-1 flying it? Can you tell me what it was like to fly the A-1? Let's start there.
Well, it was because of our unit. We were the last 9 months I was there. 98% of our missions were involved either putting an Army team in or taking them out. Either could be a uneventful flight, or it could be very harrowing. So, and the other mission was search and rescue, and there you knew somebody was on the ground. They knew they were in trouble. And so for me, it was like, it reminded me every time I sit there in the cockpit while, you pull into the arming area, put your hands up on the rails as they're arming you, and you do it simultaneously, but my mind would wander, and I don't know if you ever played college or high school sports. It reminded me of that feeling you get. For some reason, I was a kickoff receiver. A lot of things can go wrong, and I had the feeling that I was going to wet my pants before that ball was kicked. I just said, but once the ball touched your hands, that sensation was the same thing. I'm sitting out there in the arming area, and I've got that wet my pants feeling. And as soon as we get airborne, it's, all business. You're busy, and they never thought of me again. And so those missions where you flew with people for a reason were always significant and memorable. They would sprinkle in every once in a while, not maybe never during the last 9 months, but the first 3 months they'd say, hey, there's a ford across this river, and we see truck tire movement there every night. We want you to just take these 500-pound bombs out there and, break up the ford. And so, but the really, really memorable ones are ones where you can hear the Army guy on the Fox Flight radio go, hey, man, thanks a lot. That was, wow, that was close. I'm something like doing business at.
When you came back, Don was telling me that when people asked you what you did, you told them that you helped people, or you saved people. My routine was I flew escort for rescue helicopter EJAT.
Always got at least no station.
And that seemed to justify. It was not a very popular event. So the way I got around it was I was there to help pick up some poor guy, and these take the helicopters.
But it's massive.
And it eventually the fervor anti-war wore off, and we just, almost everybody I know, kind of drifted into the closet and, put it away. And Don got into this relationship with the Army Special Forces. And these are the guys of the teams you would support. And sometimes you would fly so low and you could see their faces. And occasionally, the traditional marker they give you is that we're going to put up red smoke. And anything more than 10 meters east of that red smoke, you can drop anything you want. And occasionally, they said, if we put up red smoke, we'll be overwhelmed. I have an orange panel. It was maybe 2 feet by 2 feet. It was sort of silk. And they would stretch it out. And I have vivid memories of coming almost treetop level up over a hill and seeing a guy standing there with this red, orange silk panel, beneath him. It was like, it meant something, It's too dangerous to pop a smoke, but we found him and he got him out tonight.
So meeting with the guys at SOAR, what has that done for you inside?
I was going to say that probably what the kind of list I established for the first time the value of what we did was a SOAR meeting. And as Mel Swanson, did you do his?
I did not record Mel's. I met him briefly, but he was an amazing man.
He has done one of these, and it's very interesting to watch. So if Don can put you on to really at it. He 2002 as a brief. He used to call it. It took 40 years to close that 50-foot gap between us and them.
Yeah, he owns the Cal franchise.
For 40 years, 40 years ago, we flew over them at 50 feet, and,
I'll always be
pull them in, pull them out, and finally we meet them 40 years later,
son, in heart of a room.
And it, like, tears in your eyes, somebody would come up and say, did you fly that for you? Yeah. I want to shake your hand. If it wasn't for you, I'd be dead in it. And
Are very old.
he'd go, I was oh, I don't know about that. What year were you there? And then we'd go through it. See, I wasn't there that year, so I didn't see. And he said, well, somebody flying one of those airplanes did, and I'm not exaggerating. I would not have a wife, children, and grandchildren. I would have been dead. And thank you. And I came home from it and wearing a A-1 T-shirt, went to the grocery store, and the butcher said, this is down in the Virgin Islands. Butcher said, you flew those? And I said, yeah. He said, you said what coffee? So I knew it was coming then.
That is pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you'd like to talk about? Any special memory?
One very memorable mission for me was we went out to do it on or cart, and back Travis.
I was dead. And
Can we start over?
Yeah, we I may be combining two things, but one of our guys went out to put in a team, and the helicopter was hit and went down and burst into flames, and the story was no survivors. So maybe 10 days later, we're out doing another team, and we're flying back. And about 60 miles away towards the base, one of the helicopter pilots said, there's a guy down there, and he's waving a big flag at us. And he appears to be naked. And so, the fact that was with us is, be careful, it could be a trap. They're trying to lure you in. And by then, the helicopter guy was closer, and he says, he's definitely a Caucasian guy. He's U.S. trooper. And as he said, we're going in. And they went in and picked the guy up, and you could hear him talking to the guy, or to the helicopter pilot, and you could hear guns being fired. And this guy had been thrown free of that helicopter wreck 10 days before, and had been walking through the woods towards the east to get home. And this helicopter guy just happened to spot him. And he'd already been declared killed in action in the newspaper. That was a very heartwarming history.
That's amazing. Holy cow. So was the guy literally trudging through the woods naked the whole time?
Well, what happened was he was not wearing his flak vest and survival gear when they were shot down, and he didn't have time to put it on, and they didn't have time to put a seatbelt on, and he was thrown free of the crash. Now, his uniform caught fire, and he rolled, and it was all burned up. So he took it off, but his survival vest had rolled over it. And so he had his vest and his boots, and he walked through. And this, by the way, inspired my personal R&R plan. If you, not R&R, E&E. Escape is made.
One more time. What is E&E?
See?
E&E, one more time, is?
Escape and evade. So if you're shot down and you evade the enemy and escape from the area. So a lot of guys, we carried a 38 police special, or whatever it was, combat special. And a lot of guys used to carry 25 extra bullets for their gun. I took that to the spot and carried an extra radio for my battery, because I knew this gun was not going to save violent. They got AK-47s. So, and then the SOAR guys confirmed that sound. So my plan was hide, talk on the radio, hide, just don't work as long. Don't let anybody see you. And the day the radio quits, I'm going to take off all my clothes except my boots and my survival vest, and just start walking east towards the South China Sea. And my thought was, so if you were a soldier out in the woods and you saw a naked guy walking by, the first thing you're going to do is want to run over and jump on him, or you're going to turn your head and, why, I can't believe that. So I figured nobody would want to jump on me. So I don't know if it would have worked. Thank goodness I never had to try to.
It's a brilliant plan, though. And they could tell you'd be a Caucasian as well, versus anybody trying to pull a trick.
Yeah, there you go.
Now, since you're in the Virgin Islands, I got to know, have you ever used that E&E plan on the beach? Have you?
I use it at home, Try to get to the bathroom at night.
Very good. Well, JAX, thank you so much. Is there anything else you'd like to tell us?
I don't think there was. There was so many things that were humorous and heartwarming when you sit back and you realize what had happened. I'll come up with a different format and maybe come back wearing a mustache next time and like do another.
Very good. Thank you, sir.